Hello everyone, welcome to my Java programming tutorial. In this video we will talk about linked list. So in this videos I will just go over the PowerPoint slides to make sure that you have get the idea of how those linked list thing works and how a couple of the major methods add, remove and get method works in linked list. Then we will jump on to Eclipse. Okay, so first of all we have seen a major category of list. In list you have already seen array list, so this is the next one which we have is linked list. And when you are working with objects, so as this is an example, drawing panel is also a class in Java for graphics objects. So when we are working with the objects, when you create one object and assign some value like this, and then you create another object with panel 2, and when you say panel 1, so both of the panel are pointing at the same object, like the same thing you have created, because you said panel 2 you are also equals to panel 1. So if panel 2 is making a change, as you can see panel 2 have written a statement that panel 2 dot set background, so that background of the same object is changed. So if I say hey panel 1 dot show me your background or run panel 1, it will run the same thing. So this is how you work with the object. So this point will be important as we move forward working with the linked list. Null references we have, so I'm just gonna move on how those reference types work and what is the concept what we have. Let me switch on to okay, so linked data structure. So all of the collection we will use and implement in this course. Now from now on it will be data structures starting with the linked list. So as you can see this array, so this was a simple array with simple indexes. This is what we have so far. Array list, arrays, both look kind of a similar thing. Now what linked list does is a set of linked objects, each storing one element and one more reference to the other element. So with this one box, what you did, you created a section that this will hold a data value and the address of what? Of the next list node. So all these in linked list is a combination of list node in a series. So all list node are connected, so we call those all connected list node as linked list. As you can see, this 42 is holding another address and this box is carrying an arrow to the next point. So this actually in the memory, this box is holding an address of the next list node, and the other one is just like -3 is holding an address of 17. So if I want to print 17, I need to get the address from -3 over here, that what's the address for 17, because this 17 is holding this -3 is holding the address for the next list node. And to go till the end, how to find like what's the end of the linked list, you have to look for null. So this is how, with a backslash in that box, we represent null in our linked list, that this is null. So if you have null in your linked list, that means there are no more data value to check and your linked list is empty right now. Okay, so how to create the addresses, like how those address thing works in linked list. So public class list node, this is a list node class in Java. So linked list is already created in java.util package. We will recreate that linked list in our own way. First of all, for that recreating part, I will go over the PowerPoint slide with the solution and then we will do it on Eclipse. Or you can just directly do it from your PowerPoint slides as well on Eclipse. So first of all, we need a list node. So again, this is a list node, this is a list node, this is a list node, this is a list node. Every list node is holding one data value and the address for the next list node, right? So one data value, which is 42, and this next is just a name. You can name it something else. You can name it as address or next value, anything you want to represent, because this next means next list node. So it's kind of an address of what? List node. So each list node object stores one piece of integer and a reference to another list node. So how to make the reference? This is how we make the reference with the same class name, because it's what you have named, that this is a list node. So what will be the address? It will, the data type of that thing, kind of, I would say it will be the same class name, which is list node in our case. So this is one example, very basic. You don't work with linked list like this at all. It's just for your explanation, like how the addresses works. So now there are no indexes. As you can see, there are no indexes, there are only addresses. So first of all, we created list node list equals to new list node. You created an object of list node name as list, and that is an empty list. So this is what your empty list looks like, just list. Then you said list.data UR equals to 42. So when you said list.data dot data, this is the data, dot data UR equals to 42, your next is null right now over here because you just added one value. Now if you want to add more value, you will say list.next, which will be list. You have to call this next to create another list node that will be a new list node, because when you say new list node, if I go back to my previous slide, new list node will create this thing, which is a data value and a box holding an address, which will be null, which may hold another value. So in our case, this is a very lame example right now, just to make you understand how that linked list work. Otherwise we will be using loops and stuff like that. Again, so list.next, you said new list node. So list.next, new list node, this list node is created. Then you said list.next dot data UR equals to -3. So list.next dot data UR equals to -3. And then list.next equals to list dot next, this dot next, then one more dot next, UR equals to, because you have this box right now. Now if you want to add one more value, you need to count number of dot next you have. So dot next, two dot next, UR equals to new list node. So we created this new list node. Now to add the value like 17, you have to say list dot next dot data, because in this case data is the one who is holding the value, and data can be anything. It can be integer, double, string, depending on what type of list node you have created. So you can change over here to string, double, character, boolean, anything you want to carry the data for. Okay, so in our case this is only integers, so dot next, and the last one is null. So if I want to print system.out.print list.data, it will print 42 because list.data is 42. If I want to print -3, it will be list.next, because .next, this next is the one who is kind of an address, who is kind of a GPS, who is taking me to that address to get me this data value, which is -3. So list.next.data UR equals to -3, and to print 17, you need to count how many .next you have, and then you will print 17. Again, this is very basic example to make you understand how the address thing works. Okay, so otherwise we will be using loop, and you will not work in this way with the linked list. It's very convenient for some of the examples. So now we will add some constructors. So again, this is a programmer class, as you can see, recalling from our previous slide, public class list node. This is the same list node class, the class you are creating object of. You created two things, which is int data and list node next, which is holding the address. It's up to you, right? You created this. Now you added two constructors. The first constructor is just asking for the data value, so this will add the value at the end of the list, and what it will do is it will make the address as null. It means that address is that list node is the last node. And for example, if you want to add the value in the middle somewhere, and then you need to adjust the address as well. So that's why we have two constructors. This one is taking the data value plus the address as well for the other list node. Okay, so let's move on to how the remember from the very first slide, the drawing panel, I told you about the references. So this is how reference thing works in linked list. In linked list, these addresses are very important. You cannot mess up the address. So if not even by accident, if you did it, for example, if I say, just take a look over here, you have a linked list. So if I say a.next UR equals to b.next, so right now your a is like this whole one line, and your b is the second line. Because of this statement, you can see this red arrow. So what happened is, by writing a.next, which is a.next UR equals to b.next, like this. So this arrow is created. What happened is you just lost 20 because you said dot next, you don't need to hold 20, you will hold 40, which you said b dot next, and this dot next can only hold one address. So these two arrows are wrong. It means after that statement this arrow is gone, you lost 20. Okay, so this is how the reference thing is very important, and the addresses in linked list is very important. By making just writing one statement, maybe there are 100 more values after this 20, maybe there were, and because of that one line you said a dot next equals to b dot next, you just lost your rest of the values. Okay, so link node question. Suppose we have a long chain of list node. Okay, so I will be moving on to the next slide. How would we print the data value in all the nodes? So now you have to print. So how it means to traverse or to loop over your linked list. How you will loop over these 1,000 values you have, or 100 values you have, or million values you have, how you will run a code on your linked list. So a pseudo code is start from the front, and while there are more nodes to print the current node's data and go to the next node. So very simple, right? Very simple algorithm we have to print. And you have the front. As you can see, there are no indexes. You have the front. This is your front. Who knows the start of the list? So in linked list, you just need to know the start of the list. If you have a start, it means you have a list. If your start is null, it means there is no list, right? So if this list is null, so it means there are no more values. If list is holding something, go on as long you don't find null, right? Go to the next node. And how to move to the next node? You say list equals to list dot next. It means moving on to the next node. Okay, so let's take a look in, that was algorithm. Let's move on to a little programming scenario. And when you are working with list node, linked list, while loop is the best loop, and I would highly recommend it's just use this loop. Linked list is not that difficult if you just understand the major concept of that, how that thing works. Just like while loop will be there like every time. If you have to find even number, odd numbers, if you have to add all the numbers in your linked list, do whatever you want to do with the linked list, you need this loop. And there will be quite similar kind of statements which you will be using in all different questions. So let's take a look, as this is a bad way. So don't just don't try to memorize this code, because this is a bad kind of a solution. And let's see how this is bad. So what we are doing is, according to our pseudocode, we are running our loop to our list as long our list is not null, which is quite obvious, right? We have to go till the end and we have to print all the values in this list. So inside of the code, what we are doing is, as we are going through our list nodes, system.out.print list.data. Okay, this is the major part. Whenever you want to print or test the value, you have to say list.data, because data section is holding the data, and dot next is just like GPS taking you to the next nodes. And to move, just like the normal while loop, you have increment operator, right? If you don't increment or move to the next node, this will be an infinite loop. And when you are working with linked list, this is your increment operator. List equals to list dot next. Update the address, because if you are stuck on the same address, this list is not null and you're just testing the same node again and again. You need to move on to the next node and to print as long your list dot next is not null, because that's the end of your list. List is not null. Okay, so why this is bad? Let's take a look. As you can see, you are running the loop. This will happen to your list, and at the end of the loop, your list is pointing at 990, the last list node. It means you have lost your list. You will never ever change your list or run a loop on your front until and unless it is required. So what we will do is, every time whenever we are working with linked list, you create a current reference. Okay, again, this current is not an object, this is a variable of list node. So there is a difference between object and a variable. Don't change the list, make another variable and change that. The list node variable variable is not a list node object. Oh, here it is. So this statement is already written in bold, some of the stuff like not a list node object. So this is a variable. So whenever you have to run a loop on your linked list, this line is must. So when this line is must, you already know half of your coding, right? So this is the list. What you will do is you will create another variable, list node current equals to list. So now your current is also pointing to where your list is pointing. So what happens to the picture? Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the correct way to print. Whenever you are working with your linked list, you have to run a loop. For example, we are looking for even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers. We are adding all the values. Maybe we are counting all the values. Anything you are doing with your list, this is where you start. You create a current, which is list node current equals to list, and you will assign your list to current, so that current is also pointing where your list is pointing, but you will not run your loop on list. List is still holding the first value, so it means you are not losing your list. Whenever after this loop I say, okay, list, do this thing, your list is still there because your current was moving the whole time. So while current is not null, system.out.print current.data, because as in this example, we are printing our list. So we will print as long we have a value, and this is your increment operator. Move to the next node, current equals current.next. Don't miss this line, otherwise it will be an infinite loop. This is how you run a loop on your linked list. Okay, so again, take a look. This is how, this is so similar like your while loop. You create this is how you create list node front. You need to create that list node object. With the arrays, you create int square brackets a, both are objects, remember. Then what we are doing is you are assigning an initial value to run your loop. So to run your loop, you create current in list node current, and assign front to it. You don't assign anything else to current, you assign your front or list or whatever the name you have of your, over here it's front, that's why it's front. Okay, so if you change it to list, it will be list over here. You just assign the starting position of your linked list to this current, and then you run your loop while as long your current is not null. And then same with the arrays, what you do is you run your loop as long your I is less than a dot length, right? You want to reach the end of your list in both of the cases. Then inside of the loop, this statement is quite similar. We are printing the data value. So to print in linked list, you say current.data, and to print in arrays, you say a of I square brackets. And again, as this statement is important, I plus plus, otherwise it will be an infinite loop, same is the same statement. So both are quite similar. Both are incrementing and moving to the next object in your different scenarios. Okay, so this is the difference between linked list versus arrays. Here is a linked list class. So linked list class is already created. What we will do is in our next video, I will be creating a linked int list class. So by int means this class will only work for the integers. Java has already created that class, but we will recreate to see how that all these methods are working in linked list, like how Java had created that linked list class. Okay, so before jumping onto Eclipse, we will just take a tour of the solution on our PowerPoint slides. Okay, so first of all, what we will do is, so there will be 3 classes total. One will be list node, which was in the previous slide you have seen. To create that box like with the data and the address, you need a separate class. And then this is the middle class, which is linked int list class. This class will hold all the methods, add, remove, get, set, whatever you want to add in your linked int list class. And the third class will be your client class. So in your linked int list class, you will have a private field name as front. So this is the front who will hold the whole list. Okay, and we have a constructor. By this constructor is just to avoid the garbage value we will just assign front equals to null. Otherwise we are not taking anything from user, because we are writing add method. So user will call the add method if user want to add something. User cannot directly call our field and give us the value. Okay, it will be through our add methods. So how to write the add method in linked list, like how that add method will work. So there are some things you need to know about linked list. For example, this is the basic thing about add method. Like to add something, you are not returning anything because you are asking it something from user, and user will give you a value. As this is int, why? Because we are working on linked int list class. So this is the front and this is your list. So we will by when you write the add method, you have to think of all the solutions, all the cases you have. So for example, before adding 20, is your front null? So if your front is null, it means you have to add that value to your front. So you will check front every time. So is your front null? Yes, then add 20. It means front is holding 20. Maybe that you have a bigger list. It means you have many values. So then you will need a loop. So this is how half of your code is kind of similar like this. If your front is equals to null, then you will say, hey front, you are equals to new list node, and you will pass the value. Remember, new list node, when you are from the previous slides, we will call how to create that box like with the data and the value. So we are just passing the value. And this is your front, like holding your linked list or a series of list node, I would say. Else will be the case, it means you have more, your front is not null, you have number of values over here. So this is your case. Your front is not null, it's holding 42, 42 is holding -3, maybe there are 100 more values. So now you have to add 20, and 20 will go at the end of the list. Just like array list, when you add a value to array list, it adds at the end of the list. Linked list also adds the value at the end of the list. Okay, so to add remove from a list, you must modify the next reference of the node before the place you want to change. Okay, so where should current be pointing to add 20? So remember, these are the addresses. So if I want to add 20, 20 will go at the end, right? So I need to check ahead, means I will stop over here at 3. So I will check if this is dot next. Remember, in linked list, if I am standing over here at null, I cannot go back. Okay, so it means you need to check current dot next. As you are there at this point, you have to stop your loop at this point and make sure that you say this is equals to new list node and add 20. Okay, so these are the things you need to make sure when the loop will stop. So this is your add method in your linked list. So first of all, we are checking null for front is equals to null, add the value to the front you are equals to new list node and the value, and that's done. But what if your front is not null? You have the else case, adding to an end of an existing list. Whenever you have to run a loop, don't forget these lines. You need to create a front, you will assign front to your current. So current is also pointing to the same thing. Now you are running a loop while current dot next is not equals to null. So now we are checking the next. If the next is null, and this is the increment operator, we just have to move. We are not printing anything, not adding anything. We are just moving to the last node. So current dot next is not equals to null. As you reach current dot next, you found that is null. You will say outside of your loop, current dot next, you are equals to new list node, and you will pass the value you want to add. This is how the add method works. Let's take a look at the get method. So what we do in get, you are returning an integer and you are asking the index, that which index, like it, as linked list doesn't work with the indexes. So what we will do is we are just making by default we are saying that first value is 0 index, second value is index 1, 2, and so on, like this. So it's just our coding you are creating. So remember, this is your class, you are writing your code, you can set anything. So int index, and we are getting the index value and we are returning the value at that index. So if the index is 0, it means return the value at the front. And if the index is 2, 3, you need to make sure that these are the precondition, that your index is greater than equals to 0 and less than the size, right? So you need to make sure that how long you have to go. Maybe user said index 5 and you only have like 2 values in your list. So these are the things you need to make sure. So that's why we are running our for loop. So int get index list node current equals to front, I equals to 0, I less than index. When you reach that index, that count, you are returning current, and this is just an increment operator, and this is where you are returning current dot data. We will test these coding in Eclipse and we will see how those things works. Let's move on to the remove method. So when you are removing something, you are removes and returns the list first value. So it means how do we, when you are removing something, or when you are removing a value, especially in linked list, it's a little complicated as compared to removing other thing, because you need to manage the addresses as well. So let's take a look. So before removing the front element, maybe I want to remove 42. So it's not easy to just say, hey, remove 42, because this front is pointing at 42 and 42 is holding the address for 20. If you remove 42, this 20 is gone. So what you have to do is, before removing, you will assign front to the next part or the address which this value is holding. You need to save the rest of the list. So this is how it will work. Remove solution, just to remove the first value. So first of all, you will check if your front is null, it means there is nothing to remove, and throw an exception. Else what you will do is result equals to front.data. So you're just saving your front.data, and you will say front equals to front.next. That's the value you will say in your returning result. In this question, from the previous slide, they mentioned that you should return the value you are removing. So that's why you have stored this value first in a variable, and then you are returning a variable. If you just have to remove the front, you just write this front equal front.next, and boom, that value is gone. Let's move to, for example, if you want to remove this is, for example, moving from a list. Maybe you have a bigger list, maybe you have to remove middle value or last value, any value anywhere else. So what you will do is, this is the same code, remember, in this case this is a simple method. You're getting the index and that's it. You're just removing that value, you're not returning that value. So that's why if index is 0, front equal front.next, it means remove the first value. So you just change the address and that value is automatically removed. You don't write special statements to remove. If that value is somewhere else, like it's index 1, 2, 3, like maybe that's the index they have mentioned. So what we will do is, we will create our current, because now we have to move forward in our list, loop through our list to find that index. We start with 0 index, and we will stop one step before that value, the value we want to remove, because you need to update the address one step before. Let me see if there is an example. Okay, let's see this one. So before, so this is the element 0. Let's say we want to remove 20. If you want to remove 20, you have to stop at -3, because -3 is holding 20. So what you will do is, you will say -3, you are equals to null, and that 20 is already removed. So that's why to remove something in linked list, you will stop one step before. Okay, so in this video, that's it for this video. We have covered like add method, what linked list are, get method, and the remove method. That's it for this video. Thank you. Bye bye.